Hey everybody, I think we should be live here. Can you guys just let me know in the chat box if you can hear me all right and if you can see my screen? Okay, Bankham says yes, Samantha says yes. Awesome, thank you. And there's a couple seconds of lag, by the way. So when you type, it takes me a few minutes for me to see it. Andrea says yes, Larry says yes, Abu says yes. Wonderful, wonderful. So glad to have you guys all on the presentation here. Now I'm gonna wait just a few minutes to get everybody that's a little bit late. So while we're waiting, why don't you let me know in the chat box, let me know where you're calling in from. See who's represented here. Richard from Philly, Samantha from California, Hellenic from Portland, Ben from Atlanta, Adam from Colorado Springs, Kathy from California, Mark from Pennsylvania, the Lokia 1 from Miami, Andreas from Minnesota, Bankham from West Palm Beach, Casey from Dallas, Abu from Toronto, Divala Spada from Portland, that super dangerous city, Wayne Thurman from Laverne, Tennessee, KV Mills from Chicago, Kevin from Denver, Jackal from Indy, Dana from Vancouver, Snapper from Washington, Marco from Calgary, Liberty from Blakely, Georgia. Cool. So Sarab from Toronto, Cindy from Minnesota. So we got people from all over the US and Canada, it looks like. So welcome to the presentation. I'm super glad to have you. Jeff from Oregon, Anna from Virginia, GTNA Wob from Toronto. Very cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into it. What you're going to learn on this presentation is how to turn your Excel skills into a high-paying freelance consulting business that gets new clients consistently. So what we're going to go over is I'm just going to give you a little bit of background on what this business model is and why it works. I'm going to tell you how it came about. And then I'm going to go into my exact marketing model that gets me new clients consistently. I'm going to show you exactly how that works. Then I'm going to show you how you can make this business work even during difficult economic times. And then we're going to get into how to get clients to trust you even if you've never had a client before. So just so you understand why this business model works, let me ask you a question. How many businesses use Excel? Let me know in the chat. How many businesses use Excel? Anna says all of them. Adam says 90%. Richard says most. Hellenic says all of them. Yeah, exactly. Just about every business uses Excel. Right, I'm sure if you looked hard enough, you could probably find a few exceptions, but for the most part, every business uses Excel. So let me ask you this. How good is the average person at Excel? The average person that's working for these businesses, how good are they at Excel? Samantha says not very. Wayne says average. Adam says basic level. Juliana says beginners. Yeah, exactly. So since just about every business uses Excel and the average person is not that great at Excel, let me ask you this. How many people could benefit from someone like you that could help them with Excel? %. Most. Many. 100%. Exactly. There's a lot of people who could benefit from somebody like you who could help them with Excel. Now let me ask you, how many people are actually going out and offering help with Excel? And I'm not talking about people who are just kind of sitting there on Upwork and hoping that clients come to them. I mean, how many people are actually going out to the marketplace and offering their services with Excel? Not very many, right? JM says just you. Yeah, almost. Juliana says you. Richard says not too many. Exactly. There's very little competition here. So what you have is a picture that looks like this. You have this massive market of people who need help with Excel, and then you have this tiny little contingent of people who are actually offering help with Excel. So if you were a little skeptical when you saw this training, you thought, okay, well, why is this guy going to share his secrets and create competition for himself? Well, this is why. Because the market is just so big. Being in this business is being like an ant in a cherry pie, right? There's more business for me to take than I can take in 1,000 lifetimes. There's so much business and so little competition that the competition is just basically irrelevant. And that's why this is such a great sector to be in. Now, just in case you're still not convinced, here's a stack of some of the checks that I've gotten from clients in this business. And on the right is a screenshot of one page of my PayPal. So this is a real business, and I'm really getting paid from this. Now, I should tell you, your results will vary from mine. Not everybody's going to have the same results. I'm not promising you that you're going to have the same results as me. But what I do promise you is that I'm going to show you the system that has worked for me. And what you decide to do with that is your responsibility. Now, just really quick, let me tell you just a little bit about who I am. My name is Chris Shoup. I'm the founder of Advanced Excel Optimization. That's my Excel consulting company. I recently rebranded as the Excel Guy. I think it sounds a little more catchy. And I've been doing this business for 7 years. And you see me in the picture there. That's me working hard in Rio de Janeiro, I think. So here's how this whole thing came about. I used to work at a normal corporate desk job. I was a data analyst. I was the go-to Excel guy in the office. If people needed help with Excel or they needed a Excel spreadsheet built for them, they would go to me. And then, so one day I had the idea that maybe I could do the same kind of work as a freelancer, that I could get companies to pay me and I could work on my own schedule and I could work from home, etc., doing the same kind of work, could make more money. And the idea appealed to me because I was tired of working for somebody else. Having a ceiling on my income, I was tired of having to go into the office and sit in traffic every day. And I was tired of having no control over my schedule. So I decided to do it. I started gathering up a portfolio. I put up a website, and the picture you see there is my original website. I had some business cards printed, and then crickets. I went an entire year without getting a single client. When finally I did get my first client, I was super excited. I did the project, I sent it to the client for approval, and then they ghosted me. Never answered my emails, and I didn't get paid a cent. Which you can probably imagine is a little depressing. You've been waiting over a year to get your first client, you finally do, you're all excited, and then they just ghost you. It's no fun. Anyway, so I learned from that experience though, and I went back and I completely restructured my service delivery process, and it worked because I got paid by every other client after that, thankfully. But I was still getting clients only sporadically. I had no control, no consistent method for getting new clients. I realized that what I was missing was marketing. So I made the decision to dedicate myself 100% to learning marketing. I found a course in digital marketing that looked promising, so I pulled out my credit card, I made the purchase, and I dived in. And a year and a half later, I was getting pretty good. And I figured out a clever way to apply my new marketing skills specifically to my Excel business. And it worked. After 6 years, I had finally found a system that brought in clients consistently and that I could control. And that system is exactly what I'm going to show you on this presentation. Now, real quick, let me go over who this presentation is for and who it's not for. This presentation is for people who have intermediate to advanced level of Excel skills. Now, you don't have to be a super genius, you don't have to be a Microsoft MVP, but you have to be at least intermediate level. This is for people who want to turn their skills into a full-time business that gives you more money, more freedom, and more flexibility. Or it's also great if you just want a side gig for a little extra income. So maybe you have a job and you like your job, but you'd like to make a little bit more on the side. It's good for that too. I'm going to show you why that is. Now let me show you who this presentation is not for. First of all, this is not for Excel beginners. If you just started doing Excel, if you don't know Excel, this is not really the presentation for you. Now, I'm a big believer that if you want to know something, then you can learn. Like, don't let that hold you back if you're an Excel beginner. Go into Google and type Excel tutorial, and you'll get a million results. It is absolutely something that you can learn. I'm just saying that this presentation is not going to teach you how to do Excel. This is about how to build a business around your existing Excel skills. So if you're an Excel beginner, that's fine. Just this isn't going to work for you yet. You have to build those skills first. And again, you don't have to be super amazing at Excel, but at least intermediate level. It's not going to work for people looking for a get-rich-quick scheme. I mean, you can make good money doing this, but you're going to have to work for it, right? You're going to have to set up this marketing system I'm going to show you, and you're going to have to actually do the jobs for the clients. So it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. If that's what you're looking for, this isn't for you. And if you're not willing to invest, you know, I understand that this is difficult to wrap your head around for some people because we get so stuck in that employee mentality where we work and we get paid according to the amount of work we did. If we put in 40 hours of work, we get 40 hours worth of pay. And at the same time, we never have to invest money in order to make money back. But in business, it works a little bit differently. You have to invest both time and money. And the time part, you have to do some work at the beginning that you're not going to get paid for. You have to set up the system, and that requires some work before you're ever going to see any money in return, right? You have to set up the system to get the clients, and then when you get your first client, that's when you get paid. And then with the money, the system that I'm going to show you uses paid advertising, and you're going to have to pay for that advertising. And so I'm going to show you how the numbers work out really well. Like, you pay a little bit of money and you get a lot in return. But if you're going to have a business, then you just have to be willing to invest. And this business actually is very low investment compared to most businesses. If you think about buying a house to flip it, right, or buying a restaurant franchise or buying a factory, that all involves a lot of money up front. This one involves a little bit of money, but not so much. But if that's something that you just can't accept, you're not willing to invest, then this just isn't going to work for you. So here's what we're going to cover. First, the exact system that I use to get high-paying clients consistently. Then, how to thrive in a bad economy, and I put bad in quotes there because just because it's bad and overall doesn't mean it has to be bad for you. And then, how to get clients to trust you even if you've never done an Excel project before as a freelancer. So, let's jump right in. Part number 1 is the process. This is my marketing system that I use to get clients into my business. So the first part is an ad. I run ads on YouTube, and what happens is a user will pull up a YouTube video looking for something for an Excel tutorial. They'll be looking for how to do a VLOOKUP in Excel, or how to build a dashboard in Excel, or something like that. And then my video ad will come up and say, hey, are you trying to do something in Excel? Wouldn't it be easier if you could just have somebody do it for you? Well, that's exactly what I do. So click on my ad and I'll tell you about it. And then if they click on the ad, they go to a landing page. Now, a landing page is a little different from a regular website or regular web page. If you think about most businesses' web page, they have a number of elements, right? They have a banner across the top where they have like a home and about me and a contact and a services and all these different things you can click on. And maybe they have a sidebar along the side where you can click on some other stuff. Maybe they have a blog and some articles and that kind of thing. A landing page is much simpler. It's very focused. It's a single web page that has one goal, that tries to get the viewer to do one thing. In this case, that one thing is to give me their contact information and become a lead. So when they fill out their contact information and hit the submit button, they are taken to a thank you page. And the thank you page is really simple. It just tells them that I got their information and then I'll give them a call. And it also sends them an automatic email at the same time. And then once I get their information, that's when I give them a call. Right? I just talk to them about what their project is or what their issue is and how I can help. And if they'd like to work with me, then they sign a quote, which is also a contract, and I get paid. So that's the overview, and I'm going to go into each of these steps in more detail, but does this make sense so far? Let me know in the comments. You guys following me? JM says yep. Cindy says yes. Richard says yes. Adam, do you get partial payment up front? No, I don't. I'll talk about that a little bit more later on. GTNA says yes. Hina says yes. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Now I'm going to go into every little part of this process in a little more detail here. So the first part is the ad. The ad has three basic components. There's more to it, but I'm going to give you the simplified version, and these are the three that I want you to focus on here. Number one is the targeting. The targeting means who is seeing the ad. Who is the ad playing to? And with online advertising, especially with YouTube, which is owned by Google, there are a lot of possibilities to get to exactly the right person that is your ideal audience. So you have to set the targeting. And in my case, I specifically target people who are on YouTube and are looking for help doing something in Excel. And then the second part is the copy. The copy just means what's actually in the ad. What am I actually saying? What are the words that I'm using? And so the copy that I use, excuse me, the copy that I use is, I basically say, okay, I see that you are looking for how to do something in Excel. Don't you think it would be easier if I could just do it for you? I talk a little bit about the benefits, and I say, if you would like me to do your project for you, then click the link or give me a phone call, which brings me to the third element, which is my phone number. I put my phone number actually in the ad. The reason for this is that I would prefer that the customer call me rather than going through this whole process, rather than clicking on my ad, going to the landing page, giving me their information, then I have to call them, right? If I go directly from this part, the ad, directly to the call, I've just skipped most of the process, right? I've just jumped ahead. And also, if they call me while they're watching the ad, this is when their interest level is at its highest. This is when they understand what I can do for them, and they're most interested. Whereas if they fill out my contact form and I call them a day later, well, maybe a day from now, they've already forgotten about why they were interested, or maybe they've already found another solution, right? So I put my phone number directly in the ad because I hope that they will call me rather than going through the whole process. Now, the landing page also has three main elements. Number one is the copy and or video. And again, when I say copy, that's a marketing term. It means the actual words that you say, the actual text that you have, or the what you say in your video if you have a video. So for me particularly, I have both. I have copy in text, right? I have like a sales page, and I have a video. The sales page is all about identifying the benefits, about saying, here's what I can do for you. Here's how I can help your business. And then the video part is actually a screen share of some of the projects, some of the more impressive projects that I've done in the past. And so I say, hey, here's some of what's possible, and I just kind of show off my projects that I've done in the past. This is great for two reasons. One is that it gives me credibility. It shows that, okay, I can actually do this Excel stuff that I'm claiming that I can do. And secondly, it also expands the user's or the viewer's horizon of what's possible. If you think about the average person with Excel, they probably only know 10% of what's possible in Excel. They have no idea the extent that you can use it. And so if they're watching my video, they get new ideas. It helps jog their imagination so that they come up with other ideas that they might want me to help them with. So that means that ultimately they give me a better project, a bigger project. I spend more hours and I get paid more. So that's the first element, the copy and video. Second element is my phone number. Again, Again, I would prefer that they call me rather than I call them, and I get to skip part of the sales process. So I give my phone number yet again on the landing page. And then the third component is the contact form, where they can give me their details. And my contact form is pretty simple. All they ask for is the name, the email address, the phone number, and to describe just a little bit about their project. So that's it for the landing page. Now, the thank you page and email both say the same thing, so I put those together. There are three elements here again. Number one is confirm. Just say, hey, I got your information. And then two is set expectations and say, okay, I will call you within the next 24 to 48 hours, and we'll have a chat about how I can help. Now, I use this very informal language. I say we'll have a chat because I want it to be as non-threatening as possible. I want it to seem like zero obligation. I don't want it to seem like a sales call. I don't want to seem like they're gonna be under pressure, right? I want to make it as easy as possible for them to pick up the phone when I call them. And then the third element here on the thank you page, anybody want to guess? I won't make you wait. The third element, yet again, is my phone number. So I say, if you're feeling impatient, then you could just give me a call here. Because, again, this is when their interest is the highest, and I would prefer that they call me rather than having to wait for me to have an opening to call them. And then I also have that email for two reasons. That I have a system that sends an automated email. I don't send this manually. I have a system that sends it automatically. And what the email does is, for one thing, it looks professional. The fact that I have an automated email system that's following up with them makes me look like a legitimate business, not some random fly-by-night guy in his basement or something. And then the second thing the email does is that it gives them a record for the future. So I actually had this happen just a couple days ago, when a client that had opted in, had filled out my contact form 2 months ago, reached back out to me. I never worked with him. I talked to him, but we didn't work together. But he had gotten that automatic email. So now, 2 months later, he has something he wants me to do. He has a project for me, and so he replied to that email. Because he has that email, he has both my email address and my phone number, and so he can get back to me at any time. So that's what the thank you page and the email are about. The next part is the call. And I'm not somebody who enjoys sales, right? So when I created this method, I wanted to make it as non-salesy as I possibly could. And so that's what I did. I made this completely non-sales, and it actually works really well. I've got four basic elements to the call. Number one is gather requirements. That is, I talk to the prospect about what it is he wants, what his project is, or what his problem is, or what he would like to do with it, what he would like to see. And I ask as many questions as I can to get a really good understanding of what it is he wants. Once I have a good understanding of what he wants, I go to step 2, which is to make a proposal. That is, based on what he wants, based on what he's told me, I say, here's what I can do for you. And what I can do for him, it might be exactly what he asked for, or I might make it a little bit different. I have more expertise, so I can suggest something that would meet his goals better than the thing that he had in mind for himself. So second part is to make the proposal. Third, once you have the prospects go ahead, if you make your proposal and say, does that sound good? They say yes. That's when I give my cost and my time estimate. I say, okay, well, I charge by the hour. My rate is $100 an hour. And based on what you told me, I'm guessing that this project will take me somewhere between 8 to 12 hours. And then I soften it a little bit by saying, and I'll keep you updated as I'm working on it. I'll keep you updated on how many hours I'm logging so you don't get any surprises. Does that sound good? If the client would like to go ahead with that, then I send over a quote form, which is also a contract. And then the client signs the contract, sends it back to me, and then I get started. So that's it. That's the entire process. Are you guys with me so far? Let me know in the chat. Adam says yes. Snapper says Y. Richard says yep. JM says yes. Chantal says yes. Okay, wonderful. And by the way, if I'm missing your questions, I'll get to questions at the end. So hold on to those. Okay, now let's get into what the numbers look like. If you guys are data nerds like me, you like this section. So what you see here, this drawing here is what marketers call a sales funnel. It's basically a drawing of the different steps of the sales process and how many people are getting through into each step. And in my sales process, there are 3 steps. There are clicks, the first step, people who click on my ad. The second step are people who become leads. So that is, of the people who click on my ad, some percentage of those are going to either give me a call or fill out my contact form, at which point they become leads. And then some percentage of those leads are actually going to sign on the dotted line and become my clients. And so I'm going to show you what the numbers look like, what ratios I actually get here. So the first one, the number of people who click on my ad, the percentage of people who click on my ad who end up becoming leads, who either call me or fill out my contact form, is about 5%. And I know that seems pretty low, but the truth is that this niche that I'm doing is so unique that a lot of people click just out of curiosity. They've never seen anything like what I do before, and so they're curious. They just click to see what it's all about. Most of those people are not serious. They're not willing to sign up and be a customer just yet. And a lot of people too, they might not be willing to be a customer just yet, but they're still curious. They want to know what it's about, so maybe they can take my information and give me a call in the future. So 95% of the people are not ready to actually get a project done. And so I only get about 5% of clicks end up becoming leads. Now, of the percentage of people that are leads that end up being clients is about 50%. So if people have gotten to this stage and become leads, if they've given their information to some stranger on the internet, or they've called some stranger on the internet on their phone, if they're at this stage, they're pretty serious, right? So that's why I get a much higher percentage of people that are leads become clients, because they must be pretty serious to be leads in the first place. So about half of those end up becoming clients. Now, the clicks are not free, right? I'm paying for advertising for the clicks. So let's take a look at the costs involved here. On average, and this varies day to day, but on average, I get clicks for about $1 a click. So for every dollar that I put into the advertising, one person clicks on my ad. And so let me ask you, you math geniuses on here, if I pay $1 per click, and then 5% of the people who click turn into leads, how much am I paying on average per lead? $20 per lead. Ben Hughes, very nice. John says 20. You guys are sharp today. $20 a lead, exactly. And so I'll ask you a little bit easier question. If I pay $20 per lead, 50% of those leads become clients. How much am I paying per client? $40. I won't make you wait for that one. $40 per client. So every time I put $40 into the advertising, I get 40 clicks, I get 2 leads, and I get 1 client. Now, here's the fun part. Here's the exciting part. A client, for me, is worth on average $1,500. So what's happening is I put in $40 and I take out $1,500. I pay $40 into the advertising platform and I make $1,500 back. And now this isn't just like free money, right? I still have to do the project for the client in between, but you can see how powerful this is. I put in $40, I pull out $1,500. If I put in $80, I'll get $3,000. If I put in $400, I'll make $15,000. And I have complete control over this. And so you can see actually some real numbers here. I'm rounding a little bit. These are the real numbers. Now you'll see this is Google Ads. YouTube is owned by Google, and the Google Ads platform is the same as the YouTube Ads platform. So this is Advanced Excel Optimization Video Ad. I spent almost $400 on this ad. I got 374 clicks for a cost per click. That's what CPC is. Average cost per click of 99 cents. And then I got 13 conversions. A conversion is a lead. In this case, it's somebody who filled out my opt-in form. And so for this particular time segment, I got $28.60 per conversion. Now, I told you it was $20 per lead, and that's true. The conversions here are only counting the people that became leads through my contact form. Remember I said that I prefer if people would call me rather than filling out my contact form. So what happens is that it's about 50-50 in practice, that about half the people call me and half of the people fill out my contact form. So really this is about double the true number. So the real cost per lead here is about $14. Just so you know this is real. So for me, and I'm a bit of a nerd, but for me this is a lot of fun because you have complete control over how many new leads that you get. If you want more leads, you put more money into the machine. If you want less leads, you turn off the machine or put less money into the machine. You push a button to turn it on or off at any time. Once you've got this set up, once you've got the system set up, you just have a dashboard with your ads where you can hit pause and you can hit play. So if you want another client, you hit play. If you are overwhelmed with clients and you want to take a break for a while, you hit pause. Like you have full control over it. You can send $40 to YouTube and get a $1,500 client in return. Pretty powerful. So let me ask you, if you were doing this business, how many clients would you take per month? I'm curious. How many clients would you guys ideally want to take per month? Hina says, how often do you get 15-hour types, time-consuming projects? That's my average, and it's actually a low average. So I get anything from, a 1 or 2 hour project, anywhere up to, I think my best client ended up paying me like $20,000 just for one client. So it's all over the place. So 1,500 is just a very conservative average. So let's see. Hina says 4, John says 7, Casey says 7. Mark says 5, Wayne says 4, KV says as many as possible. You run out of time eventually, KV. Richard says 15, that's ambitious. Richard, Jackal says 8 to 10. Okay, so we got a big range here, and that's exactly what I was expecting. And the beautiful thing about this system is that it doesn't matter where you are on that range. If you want a lot of clients, if you want to work a lot and make a lot of money, you can do that. Or if you just want a couple of clients, maybe you just want some side income, or you want to work part-time and half retire, that works too. It's completely up to you. It's completely within your control. So imagine that you get to choose how many new leads you want per week or per month, and you set your ads to exactly that level. Now you have an automated lead machine bringing you new clients on autopilot whenever you decide to turn it on. So is that cool? Like, are you guys seeing the value of this? Awesome. So let's go ahead and jump into part 2 here, which is how to thrive as an Excel freelancer in a bad economy. And again, I put bad in quotes there because just because it's bad for the economy overall, or just because it's bad for some people, does not mean that it has to be bad for you. There are always people who thrive in every economic downturn. So here's the situation, the way that I see it. Now, I'm normally an optimistic person, but the way that I see the current economic situation, businesses are shutting down, people are losing their jobs, there's unprecedented money printing. The central banks are printing more money than ever before in history. And so the way I see it, I just don't really see it getting better anytime soon. And I hope that I'm wrong, for sure. I hope that there's some miracle happens or something that I failed to see, but I don't see it getting better anytime soon. So the solution for us, just on a personal level, is to be someone who saves businesses money. Be someone who saves businesses money, and frame yourself that way in your marketing. So put yourself in a typical business owner's shoes for just a minute. You're making less money. Maybe you had to shut down your business completely for a while. Maybe you had to lay off a few employees, and budgets are really tight. But you still have to keep track of your data. Your business still relies on Excel. Basically, the business owner has two options. Either pay employees to do the data work, and the more inefficient the spreadsheets, the more employee time it takes, or hire an Excel freelancer to clean up the processes and save a ton of time and money. So these are basically the two options that are facing the business owner in this situation. They could hire an employee and probably have to pay $50,000 a year at least, right? For somebody who's good at Excel, it's not cheap. Whereas they could hire a freelancer and pay $1,500. With the employee, they have to pay benefits. They have to pay for health insurance, and they have to pay for the family's health insurance. They have to pay for paid vacation, right? With a freelancer, there's no benefits. The employee, they have to worry about labor laws. They have to worry about wrongful termination lawsuits and discrimination lawsuits. With the freelancer, they don't have to worry about that at all. With the employee, it's permanent, right? They have to keep employing them unless they fire them or lay them off, which is difficult and uncomfortable. For freelancer, it's just as needed. The employee has to work full time, has to work 40 hours a week, or else the employer has to pay the employee regardless of whether or not the employee is actually working the full 40 hours. Whereas the freelancer, they can pay as needed. So, I mean, let me ask you, if you were an employer, or which of these two options seems more attractive to an employer who is tight on money, who is having to tighten the budget? Which of these seems more attractive? Obviously the freelancer, right? And then, I mean, you could put a contractor there too. I could have made a third column. And the contractor's a little bit better than an employee, right? Because they're there for a short amount of time, but they're still full-time, and they still have to pay a pretty high salary. So the freelancer option is just so much more attractive to a business owner, especially in a down economy. And so if you can communicate this, if you can communicate what I'm showing you here to businesses, they will be overjoyed to pay you this $1,500. They will be overjoyed to pay you because by paying you, they are saving all of this. They are saving having to pay for employees. Okay, so let me ask you, just for my own information, what do you do for work? Let me know in the chat. I want to know, do we have some data analysts here, some database administrators, maybe some accountants, some programmers, IT consultants, sales managers, anything like that? Adam's a data analyst, very cool. That's what I was too. Cindy's a data analyst too, awesome. Snapper's a programmer, very cool. Ben's a financial analyst. Hina, SCM analyst. Samuel, tax accountant. Hellenic, network tech support, accounting and IT, business analyst, financial analyst, accounting, data analyst, Excel instructor, part-time. Oh, okay, you're an expert. Very cool. Okay, awesome. So we have all sorts of different people here, right? All sorts of different kinds of fields that all work with Excel. Now, let's go ahead and jump into part 3, which is how to get clients to trust you, even if you've never done an Excel project before as a freelancer. So let me ask you guys, how many of you are a little bit worried about this? That maybe you're a little bit nervous that about asking a client to hire you when maybe you haven't had any experience as a freelancer before. Maybe you've never had an Excel consulting client. How many of you are a little bit uncomfortable with that? Hellenic says yes. Adam says that's me. Chantal, a little. Samuel, definitely. Wayne, somewhat. Cindy, yes. Okay. So, well, I understand because I was in the same situation. So, I guarantee you that what I'm about to show you here will make you feel a little bit better about that. Now, when I started doing this business, I was super nervous. I didn't have any experience. I wasn't sure if my Excel skills were good enough. I was afraid I would disappoint my clients. Basically, I just didn't have much self-confidence. But I also knew that you can never succeed if you don't try. And I didn't want to spend my whole life in a cubicle, so I forced myself to face my fears and do it anyway. I was far from perfect and my Excel skills were nowhere near as good as they are today, but I jumped in anyway and I learned along the way. And now with the benefit of 7 years of experience and a lot more self-confidence, I can tell you some easy ways to get clients to trust you, even if you're brand new. And why most of your fears are probably unfounded. So, here are some easy ways to build credibility. Number one, and this is by far the most important, is just be able to help. If you are able to improve on the processes that your prospect has, then you are able to help, and when you communicate that, that's going to give you a lot of credibility. When you can talk about what improvements you would do, that's going to show that you are worth talking to, that you are worth working with. So that, by far, the most important thing is just be able to help. Second thing is to focus on the prospect. When you're taking a call with a prospect, do not talk about yourself, right? You don't have to justify yourself. Don't talk about the projects that you've done in the past. Don't talk about your past clients. Don't talk about your past experience. Don't talk about your college degree. Don't talk about your certifications. Don't talk about any of that stuff. Just focus on the prospect. I like to compare this to like if you're going to the mechanic. Let's say that your car is overheating and you take your car to the mechanic and the mechanic takes a look at it and says, okay, well, you got a hole in your radiator. I can fix it. It's gonna cost $500 and it's gonna take me until this evening. Are you gonna turn around to the mechanic and say, okay, well, where did you go to mechanic school? Do you have a mechanic license? Are you mechanic certified? What kind of clients have you had in the past? How many clients have you had that have had a radiator problem in the past? Right? You're not going to ask any of those questions. You just don't care. You care about three things. You care about, can they do your project? You care about how much it's going to cost, and you care about how fast they can get it done. Those are the only things you care about. You don't care about their experience and their licenses and their certifications, right? Well, exactly the same thing is true with you in this position. So if you can be able to help and you can focus on the prospect, that is going to satisfy 95% of clients, 95% of prospects, so that they won't even ask you anything else. They're not going to ask you about your certifications, your education, or your past clients, or anything like that. 95% of them are not going to ask for anything else beyond that. However, if you want more, just to cover those other 5% that you might get every once in a while, I'm gonna give you a couple more things that you can do, mostly just for your peace of mind, which is something important, right? I mean, most people, if you ask almost anybody who's been successful in business, they'll tell you that the biggest obstacle they had to get over was within their own mind. So anything that gives you peace of mind is worth doing, in my opinion. So the third thing I'm gonna say is to have a portfolio, or even better, a video of your portfolio. So you have some projects that you've done in the past, and it doesn't have to be for a client. It could be for a past employer. It could be just something you did on your own. Have a portfolio that you can show, and it's a lot easier if you can make a video of it. Just make a screen share video of you demonstrating it. That's a lot easier for the client than having to download your spreadsheet and open it on their computer and try it out themselves. And then you might remember that I told you that I have my video portfolio on my landing page on my in my process that I showed you before. And that gives me a lot of credibility. And by the way, that whole process, if you do the process that I walked you through in the last section, or the first section rather, that's going to give you a ton of credibility, because first of all, they're seeing you advertising. That gives you credibility. They're going to your web page. That gives you credibility. They're seeing your business name. That gives you credibility. They're seeing your portfolio video. That gives you credibility. So by the time, and you're sending that automatic email. That gives you credibility. So by the time that you get this prospect on the phone, they pretty much already trust you, right? You've already built a lot of credibility before you even have to talk to the person. So the portfolio video is great for that. And then just in case you want even more, in case that's not enough for you, number 4 I have here is to have a list of past clients. Now, you're probably thinking, well, I don't have any past clients. Well, if you think about it, you might. You probably do. If you have a job now and you work for a company and you've built a spreadsheet for that job, for that company, then that company is, for all intents and purposes, a client, right? And if your last job you built a spreadsheet for, then that last company is a client. And any companies in the past that you've built spreadsheets for, or if you built a spreadsheet for your church or your charity or your volunteer organization or your golf club or whatever, those all count, right? Write those down on a piece of paper somewhere, and then in case somebody ever asks you about your past clients, now you have a list of past clients. And nobody, in 7 years, nobody has ever asked me for that, by the way, so I highly doubt it'll happen to you. But again, if it gives you more peace of mind, then make a list of past clients. Okay, so is this helpful? Like, does this make you guys feel a little bit better? Adam says yes. Chantal says yes. Divala Spada says feeling good. Cindy says yes. Mark says yes. Casey says yes. Ben, absolutely. Jackal, groovy. Cool. Wayne says yes. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, so here's what we've gone over so far. I showed you my exact system that I use to get new high-paying clients consistently. I showed you how to thrive in a bad economy, and I showed you how to get clients to trust you, even if you've never done an Excel project before as a freelancer. So let me ask you guys, has this been helpful? Does this make sense? I see Juliana says yes. That was probably the previous question. Philokia, yes. KV, yes. Marco, yes. Chantal, yes. Cindy, yes. Mark, yes. Casey, yes. Samuel, yes. Wayne, yes. Wonderful, wonderful. So if you found this helpful, if you've gotten value from this presentation, would it be all right if I take just a few minutes to tell you about a program that I've got to show you exactly how to build this business from the ground up, to show you everything in detail? Would it be all right if I take a moment to go over the details of that? Casey says okay. Mark says sure. Sam says yes. Milan says yes. Cindy says sure. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you. So the program is called Excel Business Academy, and I'm going to personally work with you to build a profitable Excel consulting business with a consistent system for getting clients in 8 weeks. You guys probably already know, if you want to learn something well and you want to learn it fast, you get a coach or a mentor. If you want to get fit, you hire a personal trainer. If you want to learn to play an instrument, you hire a music teacher. If you want to learn to start a new business, you work with a proven mentor. Basically, you find somebody who has already successfully done the thing that you want to do and have them show you how. So I've put together a full coaching program where I will personally work with you to create a thriving Excel consulting business completely from scratch. So here's what Excel Business Academy is going to do for you. It's going to get you new leads and customers whenever you want. Get you a reliable income each month. Make it so that you don't have to bet your future on an unpredictable job market. Make it so you can focus on the Excel work you enjoy. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I like doing Excel work. To me, it's fun. It's solving problems and in manipulating data and showing it in interesting ways. It's fun for me. So if you enjoy doing that kind of work, then this is perfect for you. And if you could get paid for it, even better, right? And then you work from home. You get to be your own boss. You get to set your own schedule, right? You get a ton of flexibility with this business. I mean, you have to schedule client calls every once in a while. But apart from that, you get to do the work on your own schedule. Whenever you feel like doing the work, that's when you do the work. And then you get to work as much or as little as you want. Like I said, you have control of how many clients are coming in. So the way I see it, there are three things you need to be successful. Number one is detailed yet simple to follow training. Number two is coaching and personal support. And number three are the exact forms, scripts, keywords, and templates that are already working. So I've incorporated all of these three things into the program, which I'm going to describe here. There are 5 core components to the program. Number one, phase one, is called lay the groundwork. This is where you're actually going to set up the basics of your business. You're going to lay out who your customer is. You're going to lay out what your business does. You're going to come up with payment processing, that kind of thing. Phase two is you're going to build the machine. That is, you're going to build the marketing system that is going to bring in clients, that's going to bring in prospects on autopilot. And then phase three is start the engines. This is where you actually start your advertising running and start signing up new clients. So these 3 phases make up the core training, and then you're also going to get the community, which is an exclusive group where you can help each other, you can get accountability, you can get support, you can share leads, etc. And then also coaching. This is not one of those programs where I say like, oh, here's a bunch of videos to watch, good luck. No, this is not that at all. This is personal coaching. I'm actually doing this with you live. So the community and the coaching make up the support system. Now I'm going to go over every one of these components in a little more detail here. Phase one is lay the groundwork. In this phase, you're going to learn to understand your customer. You're going to understand who is the ideal customer, how to find that customer, and how to speak that customer's language. How to say the things that customer wants to hear in order to persuade that person to become your client. You're going to learn how to define your service offerings. What exactly are you going to offer to the client? You're going to set your deliverable and payment structure. That is how you're going to deliver it to your client. And I'm actually just going to give you my quote, contract, and invoice forms. Right? I'm just going to give you the ones that are already working for me, and you can delete my name and put yours. And this part is really important, by the way, because like I said, I didn't get paid for my first client. So I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen with you. So that's phase one. Phase two is build the machine. This, I'm going to show you how to do a demonstration of power that wows your prospects. I'm going to show you how to build a landing page that puts your lead collection on autopilot. I'm going to show you how to create that automated email for added credibility. I'm going to show you what to say in the email, and I'm going to show you how to set it up so that it sends automatically. I'm going to show you exactly what to say that gets viewers to become leads. Right? This is the copy. This is the really tricky part of it. If you think about when you see an ad on YouTube, what do you do normally? You probably hit skip as fast as you can. That's what most people do. So if you want an ad that actually works, you have to know exactly what to say in order to get the person's attention really fast. So I'm going to show you exactly what's already working to get viewers to become leads. I'm going to show you exactly what to say to get leads to become clients. I'm going to show you exactly how to set everything up, even if you have no web design skills. So if you're worried, you're thinking, okay, this sounds kind of difficult, don't worry, I'm going to walk you through every step of this. And then I'm going to show you how to turn everyday conversations into new business. So every time somebody asks you, what do you do for a living? I'm going to tell you how you can use that conversation to get new leads. And this is something that's kind of an extra. You know, the main part of the program is the system that I showed you. But if you can get free clients doing this way, you might as well. So I'm going to show you that too. Now, phase three is start the engines. Here I'm going to show you what to say in your ads to quickly get attention and get clicks. I'm going to show you exactly what to say so that your ad doesn't get skipped, so that people actually watch it and actually are interested enough to click on it. I'm going to show you how to quickly and easily record video ads that work. And you don't need to have any fancy studio set up, right? You can do this with a smartphone. But I'm going to show you the real trick to it is what you say in the video ads and how you put it together. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you the exact keywords to target to reach your perfect clients. I'm going to show you how to set your ad budgets so that you have full control of new leads. Basically, I'm going to show you my entire set it and forget it system. That once you create this system, all you have to do is push the button on and off. And you can change the amount of money that's going in, right, to change the speed of it. But once you have the system completed, you can set it and forget it, and it brings you leads on autopilot. So that's the core of the program. Now, the community is a private members-only Facebook group where you can ask questions and you can get support, both from your fellow members and from me. I'm on there a lot. You get accountability if you need accountability. And we also do lead sharing, right? So let's say that you get a lead that wants something that you don't know how to do. You can just pass that lead on to someone in the community. And then when somebody in the community gets a lead that they don't know how to deal with, they can pass it on to you, right? And I actually do this fairly often. If I get somebody, for example, that wants Google Sheets, they want me to do something in Google Sheets, well, I don't know anything about Google Sheets, right? I can't really help that person. So I will pass that lead on to the group and say, hey, anybody in the group know Google Sheets and want to take this client? And I actually just recently, I've been testing some new things with ads. Even though I'm pretty swamped and I really don't have time to take on a new client, I wanted to test some new ads. So I've been getting some leads coming in and I've just been giving them away to people in the group. So for example, Roland, a week before the coaching even started, he sent me this email saying, also concerning the previous lead for David, I'm going to get that done today. This is the lead that I sent him. He said, he's ready to give me his credit card number, but I'm not fixed up yet to take credit cards. How can we best handle this? So this is before the program had even started. Roland has already got his first paying client, and he doesn't know how to take a credit card payment because I'm going to go over that in the program, but he hadn't even gotten there yet. So I had to kind of help him out with that a little bit in advance. And then just a couple days ago, another one of the guys in the group, Lauren, I gave him a lead. He says, I talked with her, and it seems to be just an input form with a couple of pivot charts. I sent a quote for 3 to 5 hours, and she signed it. Working with her now on the details. So, Lauren, this is the first week of the program, and he's already got his first client. And it says 3 to 5 hours, but that's usually the way it works. That you give a small estimate to the customer for whatever that is that they want, and then you do that 3 to 5 hours. And then they come back to you saying, oh, well, I had this other idea. I want you to do this, and I want you to do this. And they keep coming back to you over and over again. So the projects just get bigger and bigger. But Lauren, again, first week of the program, I haven't gone into any of the marketing stuff yet, just the very basics about how to define his business, and he's already got his first client. So the lead sharing is very powerful in the group. Now, the coaching... there's going to be weekly live training for 6 weeks and then weekly live support for 2 weeks. This is an 8-week program. The first 6 weeks are going to be lessons. There's going to be a lesson plan. I'm going to be presenting. I'm going to be there to answer any questions that you might have. And then for the last 2 weeks of the program, it's just going to be an open call. So anything that you need help with, anything that you have questions about. If you want me to take a look at your ad and critique your ad, I can do that. If you want me to take a look at your landing page, I can do that. Anything that you need, basically, I'm going to be there for the last 2 weeks. So you'll have a lot of direct access to me. This is not something where you just go read a book or you read some articles or you watch some videos and then you're on your own. No, I'm going to be supporting you every step of the way here. So here's a recap of everything that you're going to get. Phase 1, lay the groundwork. That's the basics of the business. Phase 2, build the machine. That's where you're creating your client-getting machine. Phase 3 is start the engines. That's where you start the advertising and start actually signing up clients. And then you're going to get the community and the coaching. So if you do this for years, let's say you do this for several years, and you get 500 clients total over the lifetime, at $1,500 per client, that's $750,000. If you get 100 clients, that's $150,000. If you only get 10 clients over the entire lifetime of the business, that's still $15,000. And minus a little bit for ad cost, so that'd be $14,000 and something. So what if I told you that you could get full access to Excel Business Academy Live for just $29.95? That's the price of just 2 clients. If all this did was to make you an extra $3,000 a month in side income, would it be worth $29.95? If all this did was give you the ability to skip the traffic jams and work from home, would that be worth $29.95? If all this did was give you the freedom to wake up when you want and set your own schedule, would it be worth $29.95? If all this did was to let you take a couple extra vacations every year, would that be worth $29.95? I think so. So the investment in Excel Business Academy is $29.95. However, since this program is brand new, I'm going to offer you a special deal. If when you get your first client and your first client payment, you let me know in the Facebook group and let me use your post as a testimonial, I'm going to give you a pretty big discount on this price. So basically what you'll do is when you get a client, when you get a payment, just put a little note in the Facebook group. I'm going to screenshot your note, and then I'm going to use that in the future in my marketing. If that's something that you guys would be willing to do in return for big discount, write deal in the chat. JM says deal. Milan says deal. Kevin says deal. Samantha says deal. Mark says deal. Ben says deal. Marilyn says deal. Wonderful. So if you are willing to abide by those terms, if you are willing to make those notes in the Facebook group, you can get in now for $14.95. Just one payment of $14.95. Go to www.chrisshoup.com/8weeks. I'll go ahead and put that in the chat so you have it there. www.chrisshoup, that's my name, .com/8weeks. If it might give you an error if you try to do it without the www, so make sure that you put that in. So I'm only taking 15 people. I should warn you, because this is a live program, right? This is live coaching. Again, this is not just go watch a bunch of videos. This is a live program where I'm actually going to be working with you. I'm going to be reviewing your ads. I'm going to be reviewing your landing pages, etc. And so I don't want it to have a whole lot of people. I want to have few enough people that I can give everybody individualized attention, that I can give everybody the help and the support that they need to be successful at this. So I'm only taking 15 people. And I've already got some people in, so I think I have, as of now, I got 9 spots left. So this is going to be first come, first serve. First 9 people to get in are the ones who are in. Now, if you go to chrisshoup.com/8weeks, if you see an order form, that means that there's still spots left. If it's already filled up, you'll see this page that says, sorry, this program is currently sold out. So if you see the order form, that means that there's still spots available. Now, for the 15 people who get into the program, you're also going to get these bonuses. Bonus number 1 is the quick win method for getting your first 1 to 3 clients. In this bonus, I'm going to give you the exact scripts and method to leverage your existing contacts so they refer you your first 1 to 3 clients. Now, this is not something that you can use over and over again. This is something that you're going to basically use once and set aside. But if you don't want to wait you don't want to wait 8 weeks before you can start making money and you can recoup your investment that you've made into this program, that's what this is for. That you're going to be able to make that money back fast. You're going to be able to get your first few clients before you've built out this whole marketing system that I'm going to show you how to build out. So this is worth $1,500 to $4,500 by itself. Bonus 2 is the advanced scaling strategy. In this bonus, I'm going to show you how to scale your business so that you're not doing all the work yourself and you don't have a ceiling on your income. So what you find when you do this business for a while is that eventually you just kind of get overwhelmed. You have more work than you can handle, or at least more work than you really want to handle, and because you only have so many hours a day, right? So I'm talking to you that put in the chat that you want to take as many clients as possible, right? At a certain point, you're just not going to have any time to take more clients. And so if you don't want to have that ceiling on your income and you don't want to be working those crazy hours, bonus number 2 is going to help you with that. I'm going to show you how to scale so that you are actually hiring freelancers to do most of the work for you, at a fraction of the cost that you're actually getting paid. And it's a bit tricky because finding freelancers that are any good is difficult. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And also, you want to set it up in such a way as that it needs minimal supervision, that you just say, here are the project requirements, and they give you back the finished project. So when you do this, which I'm going to show you in this bonus, you can massively expand the amount of production that you can do. You can massively expand the number of projects you can do, and therefore you massively expand the amount of income that you can make. So that's the second bonus. Now, the third bonus is Excel for Consulting Mastery. In this bonus, I'm going to show you exactly what are the most important Excel skills to know to serve your clients and give you a complete curriculum to learn them. This is for those of you who might be thinking that, or might be wondering if your Excel skills are good enough to do this business, right? So for one thing, before I even tell you about the bonus, you're always going to feel that way a little bit. Everybody does. I feel that way. Everybody does when they get into doing something new. It's called imposter syndrome. Psychologists even put a name on it. So really, what you need to do is you just need to jump in anyway. However, like I said before, anything that you can do for your peace of mind is very helpful. If the more peace of mind you have, the better you're going to do. So I included this third bonus, Excel for Consulting Mastery, which is a parallel course which is going to get you up to speed on all of your Excel skills. Now, the main course, the coaching program, I made at a very relaxed pace. I created this program with the busy professional in mind. So somebody who's working full-time, maybe has a family, only has a few hours a week that they can put into it. So the coaching course itself is only going to take a few hours per week. And so if you have some extra time, you can do this one in parallel. It's a parallel 8-week course that is going to tell you, it's going to teach you everything that you need to know to fill in those Excel skills. And this is based on, I went back through a whole bunch of my past projects, figured out what were the exact skills that I used, what were the formulas that I used, what kind of charts did I use, what kind of code did I use, etc. I went through that meticulously and figured out everything, and I laid it out into an 8-week program that you can do in parallel, so that once you've built your business after 8 weeks, you're also you have all of the skills that you might need mastered. So here's a recap of everything that you're going to get. Phase 1, lay the groundwork. That's the basics of setting up your business. Phase 2, build the machine. That's where you're going to create your client getting system. Phase 3, start the engines. That's where you're going to start advertising and start signing up clients. You're going to get the community. You're going to get the coaching. You're going to get the first bonus, the quick win method to get your first 1 to 3 clients. Get the second bonus, the advanced sourcing strategies. You're going to get the third bonus, the Excel for Consulting Mastery. So total value $15,000. So let me tell you who Excel Business Academy is for. Excel Business Academy is for you if you want to be your own boss and have the freedom to set your own schedule. If you want to be able to work from anywhere. Or even if you like your job and you want to keep your job, but you want some extra side income. It's great for that too, because you get to choose how many clients you want to take on. It's great if you like to semi-retire and work part-time on your own terms. I hear a lot of folks that are approaching that traditional retirement age of 65, and they're getting pushed out of their jobs. Even if they would like to continue working, but they're getting pushed out of their jobs. And then if they try to find a new job, they're having a really hard time because nobody wants to hire somebody that they see is near retirement age. And so a lot of these folks are in this situation where they still have a lot of energy, they still have a lot to give, they still want to keep working, but they're finding it very difficult to. So this is a perfect solution for that. Right? Because you don't have to worry about age discrimination. They're not hiring you full-time anyway. They're not hiring you as a full permanent employee. So it just makes that completely irrelevant. And then if you want to semi-retire, if you want to work part-time hours and just supplement your Social Security or your pension or whatever, then this is perfect for that. It's perfect for you if you don't want to gamble your future on an unpredictable job market. Or maybe if you've tried freelancing before but had a hard time getting high-paying clients. I'm going to show you how to get those high-paying clients. It's great if you're completely new to freelance work. I'm going to show you how to build this business completely from scratch, A to Z, every little bit of this. And it's great even if you're an experienced freelancer but want an easier and more reliable way to get new business. So Excel Business Academy is perfect for data analysts, accountants, IT consultants, programmers, database administrators, marketing analysts, financial analysts, business intelligence, actuaries, and anyone else who uses Excel in their career. So go to www.chrisshoup.com/8weeks, secure your seat now, just one payment of $14.95. Now, for those of you who would like to have everything that we discussed done for you, maybe you're thinking, okay, that sounds great, but I would rather you just do everything for me. I'd rather you just create my ads for me and create the landing page for me and just give it to me already done. Well, I have a second option just for you. That is option 2, the Business in a Box package. This is as plug and play as you can possibly get. I give you the business and you push the on button and start collecting leads and start working on clients. So in this option, you're going to get everything that we talked about, right? Everything involved in the coaching program. You're going to get 2 complete video ads, written, recorded, and edited. I'm going to create 2 video ads for you. Now, there's 2 options with this. If you would like, I will be your spokesman for your company in the ads. So I will say, my name's Chris with ABC Excel Solutions, or whatever you call your company. And, I'm going to speak for your ads. Or if you like, I could write a script for your ads. You could be your own spokesman, and then I'll edit it for you. But you're going to get 2 complete video ads. I'm going to write the scripts. I'm going to do the editing. And if you would like, I will record as your spokesman as well. I'm going to do the setup, the targeting, and the split test for both ads. So I'm just going to create everything for both ads. And when I say split test, that means that I'm going to run both of the ads in parallel, and then we're going to pick which one performs better, which one gets a lower cost per click and a lower cost per lead, and we're going to run with that one. So I'm going to handle all of that for you. I'm going to give you fully functional landing page and thank you page. I'm going to write everything for you. I'm going to set it up for you. I'm going to write all the copy for you, everything on the landing page and thank you page I'm going to do for you. I'm going to do your automatic email. I'm going to write it and I'm going to set it up. And then I'm going to set up your new lead notification. So whenever you get somebody that fills out your contact form, you'll get an email right away so that you can call that person as fast as possible because you want to make contact with that person when their buying temperature is high. And then you're going to get complete conversion tracking and analytics set up. So you're going to see exactly how everything is performing. You're going to see exactly how much you're paying per click, per lead, etc. How many people that become leads or that click are going to opt into your opt-in form. Everything. I'm going to set that all up for you. So for the price, if you want the business in a box package, the full price is $34.95. Same link, www.chrisshoup.com/8weeks. When you go to that link, www.chrisshoup.com/8weeks, which I'll go ahead and put that in real quick. Again, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see on the left here is just an overview of what the program entails. On the right, you're going to put in your billing details. You're going to put in your payment details. Scroll down a little bit here. And then you're going to get 2 choices, the Excel Business Academy, this is the main program, or the Business in a Box option. You just click on whichever one of those that you want, hit Submit Payment, and then you're going to go to a screen that says, congratulations, you're enrolled in the program, and you'll get an automatic email that says everything that you need to do next. So go ahead to www.chrisshoup.com/8weeks, secure your seat now for $14.95 or $34.95 if you want the complete Business in a Box package. Okay, so I will go take a look at who I have to congratulate here, and go ahead, now we'll take questions. So go ahead and put your questions in the chat there. Okay, let's see. John says, general question, do you use something like ClickFunnels or do you build your own landing pages? How do you know how much time to quote, how many hours per workday for these courses? Okay, that's a lot there. I'm going to go over every bit of that in the course. So I'll just give you like the really quick answer here. Yeah, I use something like ClickFunnels. I don't use ClickFunnels, but something similar. How do you know how much time to quote? That's something I just try to give a conservative estimate, and if it's a big project, then I try to like chunk it up into little bits. And then how many hours per workday for these courses? Hours. It's gonna be about 3 to 5 hours a week for the coaching course, and then for the done for you option, the business in a box option, that's gonna be it's going to be like maybe 1 to 2 hours a week because I'm still doing most of it for you. I still recommend if you do that option that you attend all of the course, all of the lessons, because you're going to understand how it works, and that's going to serve you better in the future. And it's going to help also to understand the process so that you know what your customer is going through, so you can understand your customer situation a little better. Juliana says, I'm not ready to jump in. I'd rather firm up my skills first. If you have a course for upgrading Excel skills or determining skill level, I'd be interested in that. Well, it just so happens that the third bonus is the Excel for Consulting Mastery is going to do exactly that for you at exactly the same time that you're building the business. So if that makes you feel more comfortable, it's up to you. I'm not going to try to push you into it if that's not enough for you. If you need more time, fair enough. Lenny says, did you have a lawyer draw up the quote or contract? No, I didn't. I didn't. But I've never had any problem with it. It's the one that I have works just fine. KV says, are you able to provide us some examples of projects that customers have had you work on? Yeah, I could do that. I get a lot of dashboards. A lot of people are big on dashboards. They want to see their information in a better way. And so they'll have, a lot of times, a lot of these customers will have this giant, ugly spreadsheet where oftentimes this is like the basis of their business. And so they want it organized a little bit nicer. Maybe they have formulas that don't work all the time. Like they have a VLOOKUP that seems to work part of the time, but not the rest of the time. And they just kind of want me to streamline it. So sometimes it's more of kind of a database project where I'm just organizing the information. I'm creating a better way of inputting the information. I'm creating a better way of showing the information. So that's a lot of what I get. I hope that answers your question. Larry says, how many students have successfully used your program to build a business from scratch? Good question. This is the first time I'm ever doing it. So I at the moment, not any yet. This is, again, I cut the price in half because this is the first time. And because this is the first time also, I'm super focused on giving you every bit of attention that you need to succeed. I know that this works because it's literally working for me right now. This isn't something that worked for me 5 years ago or 1 year ago or even 1 month ago. This is something that my ads are working right now and are getting me leads right now. And the course I've already had, there's the course hasn't even finished. And I've already had 2 students get their first client. So this is definitely working. Lee says, is there coaching on all the ads? Yes, absolutely. I'm going to go in great detail on exactly how to create your ads, how to set up your ads and how to create your ads, how to target your ads so that your ads are focused on exactly the right type of customer, because you don't want to waste money showing ads to people who are not interested. All right, so I'm going to show you how to target your ads so they're going to the right person. I'm going to show you how to split test your ads if you want to try different variants. I'm going to show you exactly how to write your ads, how to first capture attention, how to get people to actually listen. Then once you've captured someone's attention, I'm going to show you how to keep their attention so they continue listening. Then I'm going to show you how to get them actually interested enough to click on your link. And I'm going to show you every part of the process, basically. We're going to go through it in detail, and I'm actually going to review the exact ads that you have. So you will have absolute, complete support on that part. Good question. Svetlana says, what are the biggest challenges that your mentees or clients have faced in building their business? Good question. Again, this is something new. I can tell you what challenges I've had, and I can tell you, it's just too new to say, really. But that's why I'm doing this intensive coaching where I'm with you live every single step of the way, so that any problem that anybody has, I'm right there to help them with. And it's not just answering questions. Like, you send me your landing page and I'll tell you exactly what you need to change on your landing page, and send me your ads and I'll show you exactly how to create your ads. So I hope that answers your question. KV Mills, yes, thanks. Cool. Lee says, is there a payment plan? Yes, actually. Good point. Let me go ahead and give you the payment plan link. The payment plan link is chrisshoop.com/8weeks-PMT. I put that in the chat there. That is going to be 3 payments of $595. So 3 monthly payments of $595. And so it's the same link as this, except -PMT. John says, when is your anticipated start date, or is it instant? Good question, John. The program actually, the first session started on Thursday, this past Thursday. So for you guys that get in today, I'm going to give you 2 options. Either you can start a little behind, and everything's recorded, right? There's materials. I record all of the lessons and I put them in the Facebook group. I have all of the documents. I have the slides. I'm going to give you all of that. So if you would like, you can go ahead and watch the week 1 stuff, which is all kind of basic foundational stuff anyway. And then be caught up with the program for weeks 2 through 8. Or if you like, I'm going to do another session 3 weeks from now. So if you would like, you can wait for that section. The choice is yours, which way you want to go about it. Now, I would recommend that you jump in now, because it's not much to get caught up on, right? It's just 1 lesson that I have the recording for and I have all the documents for. So, good question. Ben says, describe your success over the 7 years. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. Maybe you missed the first part of my presentation, but basically, most of that 7 years was struggling. to put it bluntly, it took over a year, which I didn't count the first year because I didn't have any clients, but it took over a year just to even get my first client in the first place. The first client didn't pay me. I didn't get paid a cent because I delivered the service all wrong. I didn't know how to do the delivery aspect of it, so I never got paid. They just kind of just never answer my emails again. And then from there on out, I would get clients kind of here and there. And I tried some various different forms of marketing that had a little bit of success here and there, and I get clients sporadically. And I got some good clients during that time. And then just over the last year is when I really dived into marketing. I decided I was going to really, really focus on getting this marketing handled. And so that's when I finally started getting clients consistently. That I came up with this system that I described for you today, and that I'm going to show you in this coaching program. And by the way, if you're listening to this and you're thinking that you're going to do this by trial and error, you're just kind of going to take what I told you and figure it out, you absolutely can do that. Right? You guys are smart people. If you know Excel at a high level, I'm not saying that just to flatter you. If you know Excel at a high level, you're smarter than the average bear. So if I can figure it out, you can figure it out. I have no doubt of that. And hopefully, since I gave you this presentation, hopefully it's not going to take you the full 6 years that it took me. But one thing to consider, though, is that when you're doing trial and error involving paid advertising, trial and error gets very expensive very fast. you end up spending a lot of money on ads that don't work, trying to find ads that do work. Because again, most people don't watch ads, they skip them, right? So it's an art. It took me a long time to learn how to make an ad that actually works for this business. It's pretty difficult. And along the way, when I was doing the trial and error, I spent over $10,000 on ads that didn't work, right? So you could do that, absolutely, but it would take you a while, and you'd spend a whole lot more money than you would be spending by just joining this program and using what I already know works. Ben Hughes says, so that's what we are avoiding. Yeah, exactly. KV says, it seems the payment plan has a different amount. Does it really? Did I tell you the wrong amount? I think it was $595 times 3. Let me take a look real quick. I hope that I didn't give you the wrong amount. That would be embarrassing. I'm checking on this right now. No, it's right. $595. I just checked it. Man, you scared me there. You scared me. Cool. So, Ben says, lost time worse than ad cost. Yeah, I agree with that. Right? I definitely agree. That's something that most people kind of haven't figured out yet, is that time is worth more than money. If you waste your money, you can get your money back. If you waste your time, you can't get your time back. But I emphasize the money side just because most people are so much more sensitive to money. And I think that's silly, but most people just are that way, unfortunately. And by the way, the fact that you're here on this presentation is proof that this process works. Now, probably some of you guys noticed that the process that I used for getting people on this presentation is almost exactly the same process that I'm going to show you for your business, the same process that I went over in this presentation, right? You saw an ad of mine either on Google or on Facebook, and probably when you see an ad on YouTube, rather, when you see an ad on YouTube, you skip it the vast majority of the time, or you see an ad on Facebook, you just scroll past it. Well, mine actually caught your attention, right? And you actually clicked on it. And then you saw a landing page, right? A landing page for this presentation, which is very similar to my landing page for the Excel business. And then you thought it was interesting enough that you gave me your name and your email address, and some of you even gave me your phone number, right? Probably you guys don't really do that with random people on the internet very much. And then here you are, an hour into the presentation, you're still with me. An hour and a half into the presentation, and your time is valuable, right? So you're here because I made you see the value, right? Because I figured out this process. I figured out this process of ad to landing page, and that's the only difference between this, what I'm doing right here, and what I'm going to show you how to do for your clients, is that instead of doing a presentation, you're going to do a sales call. But apart from that, the sales process is exactly the same. So the fact that you're here is proof that this works. John says, outside of the program cost and the variable ad cost, are there any monthly subscription costs? Yeah, good question, John. Yeah, the whole system for the website, the web hosting, and the emails is all together in one system, and that costs $100 a month. So yeah, $100 a month plus the ad cost, and that should be it. Lee says, I guess it's with interest. Yeah, the payment plan's a little bit more expensive since you're not paying up front. KV says, maybe I misheard you. Oh, that's probably what it was. Yeah, no worries. GTNA Wob says, would you be able to ensure that the Google Ads payment don't get too much because of random clicking? Yes. Yes, you set an amount per day, you set an amount per day that you're willing to spend. So say you want to spend $5 a day. That'll get you a new lead every 4 days. Or say you want to spend $10 a day, then you get a lead every 2 days, right? They will spend $10 and then they'll cut it off. So you can put exactly as much money as you want and it will not overspend. And it's very good about that. I've been doing it for a long time and it's never overspent by more than a few cents. So good question. Lee says, at times you cannot stop random clicking. Using negative keywords can help with this. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I won't go deep into keyword strategy, but yeah, there's some nuance to it. Jackal says, KV Mills 3x times 595 is not 14.95. Time value of money. Exactly. Little, you get a little break on the price if you pay all up front. Any more questions you have, go ahead and put them in the chat box. I'm not in any hurry. I'll answer all your questions. By the way, if you're wondering why this price, $14.95, I'll tell you what that price means. That means that you are paying me for your first client, right? Your first $1,500 client, you're paying to me. Every other client after that is all yours. It's your first client minus $5 for a beer, so you can go reward yourself when you get your first client, right? And I absolutely recommend that you reward yourself when you have a victory like that, right? When you do something in your business and it works, go reward yourself every time. I absolutely recommend that because, like I said, 90% of this is psychological. 90% of this is you fighting with your own mind. 90% of this is getting over your own fear and your own insecurity and your own lack of confidence, right? And everybody's like that. If you're feeling that way, don't feel like that makes you weak or something. Everybody has this problem, myself included. So do everything that you can to reward yourself when you have a victory. And I structured this coaching program in such a way as to give you the maximum amount of psychological support, right? I understand that is the biggest obstacle, and so I've made it in such a way that I am pushing you past that obstacle. I'm the live coaching format where we're going to see each other face to face every week. I'm going to hold you accountable, right? I'm going to push you past that fear. I'm going to push you to do the things that you need to do. Also, the fact that you have to make an investment. Oh, I think I lost my internet for a sec. Also, the fact that you have to make an investment. That's actually big. If you are willing to invest in something, you are dedicating yourself to putting in the work that you need to succeed, right? Because if you pay for something that's going to make your life better, and then you just ignore it, well, you're probably not going to do that, right? Because if you just ignore it, then you've just wasted that money. And you don't want to do that, right? You don't want to feel like you're somebody who is a failure or somebody who wastes money. So the fact that you're willing to put down that financial commitment at the beginning is making you much more likely to be successful. And then also, I'm going to take every bit of uncertainty out of this that I possibly can. I'm going to support you in every way that I possibly can. I hope you got the idea that I'm not going to tell you how to make a quote form. I'm not going to tell you how to make an invoice form. I'm going to give you the ones that are already working. I'm going to give you the ad text that's already working. I'm going to give you the scripts that are already working. I'm going to give you the keywords that are already working. I'm going to take every little bit of guesswork and uncertainty out of this as possible so that you can have maximum confidence. So you don't have to rely on confidence in yourself. You can just have confidence in the process. Follow the steps and it'll work. So I hope that makes it a little bit easier psychologically. Let me get back to the questions here. John says, very good presentation. Thanks a lot, John. I appreciate that. GTN says, got it, thanks. Lee says, is there a discount or a Christmas deal? No, this is the discount. You know, the price is $29.95, which is, you know, again, that's only your first 2 clients. That's it. And I've cut that in half because this is the first run. So this is the cheapest price that you're ever going to see for this. By Christmas, if I run this again on Christmas, it's going to be more expensive. GTNA says, what are the timings for live classes? For this current session, the timings are Thursday evenings at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And so for the upcoming session, again, I told you could have the choice between the two. For the upcoming session, I'm going to take a poll of everybody who signs up, and we're going to find the time that works for everybody. Nicholas says, who is the average client? Don't you ever get families that want to pay $20 for budget planners? Who are these clients paying $1,500? Good question. The average client, for the most part, are small business owners. Small business owners or partners or managers at small businesses. And yeah, every once in a while I get somebody that you know wants to pay a really low rate, but most people understand that this is going to be expensive. And so you have a choice of how much you want to charge. I charge by the hour, which I definitely recommend, and $1,500 is just an average project. And by the way, a lot of people like that email that I showed you of my student Lauren, who got his first client. He billed 3 to 5 hours. That happens a lot. You bill a small amount, and then you do the project, and so the customer's cool with that because it's only $300, $500. It's not that much. But then you do the project, and then the customer has all these ideas and thinks, oh, wouldn't it be cool if it had this thing? And wouldn't it be cool if it had this other chart? And wouldn't it be cool if it had this import function? And they get all these ideas, and so they say, okay, well, if I added this extra thing to it, how much would that be? And I say, okay, well, that's going to be another $300. And they say, okay, go ahead and do it. And then I deliver it, and then they say, oh, well, wouldn't it be cool if I had this thing? How much would that be? And the project just keeps expanding over time. So, yeah, like I said, the price does scare off some people. In my experience, I get about a 50% conversion rate. That is, of the people who I talk to, about 50% actually agree to my price. The other 50% do not. So you're not going to get everyone, basically. I hope that answers your question. Nicholas says, yes, what time are classes? I just answered that. Just in case you missed it, I'll say it again. Classes for the current session are Thursday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern. And if you would like to wait until the next session, which is going to start 3 weeks from now, I'm going to do a poll of everybody and see what time works for everybody. Lenny says, is there verbiage in your contract to protect you against lawsuit in case the client suffers a loss using your sheet? That's an interesting question. You know, I actually don't remember off the top of my head. I'd have to go look at it again. But I've certainly never had any problem with that. I don't think there are a whole lot of people in the world that would try to sue you over a freelance project. But it could happen, who knows? So that's all the questions. Go ahead and put a question. Put any more questions that you have. Go ahead and put them. Again, I got plenty of time. I'm in no hurry. By the way, if you're hesitating, if you're thinking about it, let me say this: this program is definitely not for everybody, right? And if it's not for you, and you know that it's not for you, then I'm not going to try to convince you that it is, right? Then that's fine. I appreciate you being on the presentation. I appreciate you hearing me out, and that's fine that it's not for you. However, if you really think that it is for you, if you think that this would be a good opportunity for you, but you're hesitating, maybe you think, oh, well, I have to think about it. I'll keep it on my radar. Let me ask you, how does that normally work out, right? If you're presented with an opportunity and then you think about it, how does that normally work out? Most people are that way. Like, most people do that every time. They have this cycle that they go through every single time they're presented with an opportunity, that they see the opportunity, they say, oh, that'd be good, I could do that, I'll think about it. And so they think about it, and they think about it some more, and then they forget about it, and then the opportunity's gone. And then a year or two later, another opportunity comes up, and they think about it, and they think about it some more, and then they forget about it, and then that opportunity's gone. And so they just kind of live their lives this way, and then 40 years in the future, they're old and on their deathbeds, and they're full of regrets. So I want to encourage you that if this is the right thing for you, jump in. Don't think about it until it's gone. Right? Again, if this is not the right thing for you, then don't. I'm not trying to get everybody in here that has a pulse and a credit card. But if it is for you, and this is the opportunity that's going to make your life better, then maybe recognize if you've been living that pattern and put a stop to it. Lee says, what is your refund policy? I don't have a refund policy. I mean, if you tell me like the first week that you accidentally gave me your rent payment and you're going to be homeless if I don't refund you, then I'll give you a refund. But if you've been through 8 weeks of personal coaching, I'm not gonna do refund after that. Right? This is me giving my time. This isn't just like, oh, watch some videos. This isn't just give you a copy of an ebook or something. This is actual real coaching. Well, I hope that answers your question. Ben says, very good, honest, and full disclosure presentation. I think your help was definitely worth the cost and more. Thanks a lot, Ben. I really appreciate that. I appreciate all you guys that's came to watch this presentation. Even if this opportunity is not for you, I'm totally with you. I appreciate you being here anyway. Nicholas says, I'm a 9 to 5 on Pacific time. I will definitely miss classes if schedule remains the same. This poll that you'll be taking, do you have alternative times in mind already? Yes. I mean, the people in the classes are in the US and Canada. So I get everything from Eastern time to Pacific time. I set this one early because it worked for everybody. For the next one, if you can't do early in the day, if I have to wait for 9 p.m. Eastern time, which is 6 Pacific time, then we can definitely do that. And if you have to, by the way, if you have to miss classes occasionally, that's fine because there's going to be a recording of all of them. You're going to get all of the materials, but it's definitely better if you can attend at least most of them. A pulse and a credit card. I got that from somewhere else. I don't remember where I heard that. I thought it was funny. But you hear, that's kind of like the classic salesman, right? Is that they just want everybody's money. Like I don't want that. And I'm not saying that because I'm some saintly person. I mean for my own self-interest. I don't want to get a bunch of people that are not going to be successful at this. I want people that want to do it and are willing to put in the time and willing to put in the effort and willing to make it work. Because the better you do, the better I look. I don't want to have a bunch of reviews of me online about people saying that I cheated them or I ripped them off. Right? I don't want that. I want a bunch of good reviews, a bunch of people that say I made a whole bunch of money using Chris's program, saying that Chris gave me every bit of support that I needed so I could be successful. Those are the kind of reviews that I want to get and that I want to be my reputation on the internet. It's very difficult to be a shyster these days on the internet because your reputation gets soiled really quick. right? So so I definitely don't want to go that route, and just for my own self-interest. I mean, I have my morals as well. I don't want to sound like I don't, but it's it's not good business for anybody in the year 2020, in my opinion, to charge people money and not get them results and not give them value. Anybody else, go ahead and give me your question there. We're getting a couple people in here. Let's see. Rob, congratulations, Rob. You are in. You've got one of the available spots. And Susie, you are in. Awesome. Let me go back to the questions here. Cool. So if you're in, by the way, you should have an email sent to you automatically that'll tell you everything to do next. Nicholas says, thanks, Chris. Last question for me. You said you had a landing page or a portfolio. I have a portfolio on my landing page. Well, more specifically, I have a video of my portfolio on my landing page. And I'll show you exactly how to do that. It's a landing page that says, here's the stuff that convinces the person that they want to be your client, and here is the video of your portfolio that shows that you know what you're doing, that shows that you know what you're talking about, and also has the side benefit of expanding the client's imagination a little bit more, giving the client a little bit more idea of what's possible so that they have more ideas to tell you and more things to pay you to do. Lenny says, have you ever been asked to act as a consultant or train an employee? I'm not quite sure what you mean by consultant. That's a word that seems to have a lot of meanings. I mean, I call it consulting because I do make recommendations as to what I think they should do, and then I build those things for them that I recommend. And train an employee, yes. That's one of the services I offer, and you can offer as well. That's something that we'll go over in week 1 of the program, is exactly what services you want to offer. So you can offer just done for you services where you build the spreadsheets. You can offer to train people, or you can even offer to do the thing with them on a screen share, like on a Zoom presentation. You can actually go through their spreadsheet, fix it up for them, and explain along the way so that they know what you're doing. Some clients love that. So I kind of try to keep it as broad as possible because I want as many customers as possible. But it's totally up to you what kind of services like that you want to include. I hope that answers your question. KV says, are these skills that you will be teaching transferable to other programs? That's a good question. Yes, to some extent. I personally do a lot of work in Access, right? And this is actually what you find is that the client usually doesn't really care that much about what you do to fix their problem. They just care that you fix their problem. And so what I get fairly often is a big ugly spreadsheet from a client, and they say, fix this up for me. And I say, okay, I can do this, but this would actually work a lot better if I built it out in Access. And I explain why it would work better in Access. And sometimes they're amenable to using Access, and sometimes they say, well, Access, that's too foreign for me, just build it out in Excel. So it's the more softwares you know, the more skills you have, the more you have in your toolbox to solve the client's problems. And so when you so there's opportunity for sure to use other tools as well. Good question. Nicholas says, how do I get there to your landing page? To my Excel business landing page. I don't have the link handy right now, if that's what you mean. I don't have the link handy right now, but that is something I will definitely show in the coaching course. Nicholas says yes. I could show you. I mean, what I do have off the top of my head is my main website, which is kind of ancient, and I haven't I haven't really optimized. It's not good for marketing at all, but that's advancedexceloptimization.com if you want to take a look at that. Got some more sales here. Got some more new people in the program. Susan, congratulations. You are in. Any more questions, go ahead and let me know in the chat here. Let's see, it's 9:55. KV says, thanks, I'll see you when the class starts. Awesome, KV. Glad to have you in. It's going to be pretty cool. And so I'm going to send out an email tomorrow just to see whether you would prefer to start in the current session or wait for the upcoming one. So have a great night. Anybody else? I will give you until... what's it, 9:52 in my time. I'll give you 3 more minutes. If there's no more questions, then I'll go ahead and close out. But we still got a few people here, so, you know, if you got anything else, I'm still here. I'm going to take off this jacket, though, because I'm getting hot. My wife told me I should wear a jacket so that I'd be more presentable, so it's hot, though. Thanks, KV. See you on Thursday, probably. Oh, and by the way, just in case you're watching this on a recording, if you're watching the replay, if you go to www.chrisshoop.com/8weeks, as of 9:53 Eastern Time, September 22nd, I still have a few spots left over. If you would like to get in, just go to that website. If you see a order form, that means that there's still spots left. If you don't see an order form, you see a page that says, sorry, it's filled up, then you missed it. But if you see an order form, that means there's still spots available. One more minute. Any more questions here? Okay, that's 9:55. I'm not seeing any more questions. So I will tell everybody good night. Thank you guys for watching the presentation. I'm super excited to start working with those of you guys who joined the program. If you are still considering, but you haven't done it yet, again, go to chrisshoup.com/8weeks. If there's an order form there, that means that there is still time. So thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and I will talk to you soon. Good night.